لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله المصطفى اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. Alhamdulillah bil alameen. 2 Eids in the same day, that is just too much power. And Allah Almighty, His power, His mercy, His favors, His blessings is for His creation. His crown of creation, Allah is asking, who is asking? And that's why we have people that Allah raised them and established them in strength and power in the land, and they were not prophets. Asif, who bought Bilqis' throne within the twinkling of an eye, he was not a prophet of Allah. He was just assisting Suleiman, who was a prophet of Allah Almighty. Suleiman was controlling the jinn, the men, everything. And in spite of that, Allah Almighty had someone with Suleiman who had that kind of spiritual power. We don't understand. It's just like we see someone who is so muscularly built and they're able to lift up the front end of a car and lift up a pool, swim and pull a ship, and we say, wow, that person is awfully strong. But that's not power. The power that's within that individual, once it's reached, can make that ship go by blowing the ship. Can be the wind behind the ship. Can be the power that pushes a rocket through the air. We have no clue. We have not an ounce of clue of what we are, what Allah has hidden in us. There is no sense, there is no reality of lack. That is an illusion. Lack only appears through our mentality. There is no such thing as lack. There's only abundance. There's only abundance. Do we ever run out of sunlight? Only when it sets, but it comes back. By that time we want to sleep. We should be asleep when the sun is at night. We should be resting. But when we have to be up and about, the sun is shining bright. It's been ever since we've been here. It was shining before Adam. All the prophets saw the sun, same sun that rises, and it comes out bright. Every day, unless the clouds are there. It's in submission. We are not in submission. The Hajj season, they're ending the Hajj season, and you may have the miracle of the Hajj is that when you're on Hajj, and you may have thousands of people circumambulating the Kaaba, going around the Kaaba, saying, oh Allah, here I am, Allah, here I am. And they're calling out Allah's names. And everyone is like can be a distraction. If you're allowing all the people around you to distract you, you're looking at the people because the men and women are bumping shoulders, and you say, oh, they're hitting me, and you're gonna forget about Allah Almighty. When you forget about Allah Almighty, you forget about the reason, the purpose of being there. You lose your contact with the abundance. When you're on Hajj, it is amazing. The struggle of Hajj and what you have to go through, it seems like it's never going to end. It seems like you're going to be there forever. And you have to encourage each other. You know, well, we got one more day, another day. You want to be a Haji? We were on Hajj and with Shahid and Musa, and we kept saying that we had to bring some kind of humor to it. You want to be a Haji, huh? You want to be a Haji? This is what it takes to be a Hajj. People think they just go on Hajj and they say, oh, they just go around the Kaaba. And there's difficulty because there are other people doing the same thing. It's a test of your patience and of your discipline. You just don't walk up in Allah's house Almighty without Shaitan being the gatekeeper. you have to fight him. He's like the 36th chamber. You got to get past him in order to be free. And that is the Hajj that we go over into Mecca is symbolic of that same Hajj we have to go through ourselves. With our mentality of thinking that there is lack. There is no lack. You come here, you can see, you can hear, you can move about. You are in abundance. But our minds begin to think we are greater than anything that we can see. Everything that we can see and how far we can see is like a drop in comparison to that part of us that we cannot see. But we never reach it because we don't make that Hajj. We don't struggle. We don't fight. We don't exert. We just accept whatever it is. And that's not why we're here. If we're going to change anything, we must be able to do what we are able to do. Allah would never brought us here if we could not change what is here. You go around the Kaaba and you're with thousands of people and you're saying, "Oh Allah, here I am. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Here I am, my Lord. I am here." Then they going through between the two mountains, Safa and Marwa. These are the two mountains that Hagar, the mother of Ishmael, Allah be pleased with them, she was in the desert by herself with her baby, and she was running between mountain to mountain. There's a part when you on the Hajj, you have to run from this mountain to that mountain. And there's a part when you start going, then you have to run in haste. That's part of it. Run in haste, because you are actually duplicating what Hagar was doing when she was worried about the sustenance. She had no food, she had no drink. Shaitan made her to be anxious and made her to think in terms of lack. He whispered to her. Her baby was laying on the floor of the desert, and he took his foot and hit the floor of the desert, and out gushed the water Zamzam. This Zamzam water is so hot over there, especially during different times when the Hajj season, that you can't eat food because it's just too hot. So the Zamzam water, even though it's liquid, it also acts as a food. And from the time that Ishmael salam put his foot on that floor of that desert and outgushed that Zamzam water, even today, that Zamzam water is still coming from the same place. From the same place. The same taste. The same effect. There is no such thing as lack. There's only abundance. And that's why we are responsible to bring back the mentality that there is only abundance and there is no lack. Everyone is acting now out of a sense of lack, and that's why they're hoarding. But you can only hoard physical things. You cannot hoard spiritual things. You cannot hoard oxygen. You cannot hoard the sunlight. You cannot hoard the spiritual power. This is what we don't understand about ourselves. And as long as we don't understand this about ourselves, we will continue to suffer from a false sense that there is lack. There is no lack.